Guys, our partners at Manscaped have done it again. The leading brand in men's hygiene and grooming is proving to be the leader in men's health as well. April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, and our friends at Manscaped have teamed up with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread the word. Manscaped is donating $50,000 from the sales of the new special edition Purple TCS Lawnmower 4.0 electric waterproof trimmer to their longtime partner, the Testicular Cancer Society. There are only 10,000 units in existence, so make sure you get yours today while supplies last. Just visit manscaped.com/TCS to access resources about cancer prevention and men's health. If you'd like to save 20% plus get free shipping on the new Lawnmower TCS 4.0 Special Edition Trimmer and help Manscaped raise awareness and give back to the Testicular Cancer Society, use code Chael at manscaped.com or just click on the link below. Beneil and Oliveira, do you think it's going to happen? Where are you at on that? It got moved. It got moved. It's now a co-main event. It'll be underneath Amanda and Juliana Pena Part 3. So it's only a month. Got moved a month. And right on its surface, that's weird, right? I mean, normally you would never ask this question. Normally we would never have a discussion of, do you think it's going to happen? A card got announced. This is the card. You'd wish everybody well and a healthy camp and so on and so forth. You move about your day. But something doesn't feel right, and something never felt right. Oliveira and Beneil are going to fight. Okay, that's the former champion against the guy with the longest win streak in the organization, any weight class, to not get a title fight. That's a very clear number one contenders match. Can we all agree? Because you do agree. You all agree. You believe that. And you fellow pundits out there have written about it. You've talked about it. You've tweeted it. You've discussed it. You've lied to everybody. It's not a number one contenders match. At least it's never been said that it is. You've said that it is, and you believe that it is, but it's never been said. And that's relevant, right? Whatever the juice was on that fight, it wasn't enough to keep Oliveira in it the first time. Beneil came out and said that when he agreed to do the rematch, he got a guarantee that if Oliveira pulls out, doesn't show up for any reason, they don't reschedule again, they scrap the idea and they take Beneil and they give him a world title fight. So we as an audience do understand that this is a number one contenders fight. Well, no, there again, it's never been said. We understand that if Beneil wins, Beneil fights for the belt. And we understand the fight doesn't happen at all. Beneil fights for the belt. But it's never been said that Charles gets to fight for the belt. Now, that might be a small detail, guys. I'm not attempting to make a mountain out of a molehill. However, I need to look in every direction because whatever the sauce, it's not enough to keep Oliveira in it the first time. He came out himself and said he has a minor injury. To prove the fact of how minor the injury was, he rebooked the match a month away. That's weird. That whole thing is weird. It doesn't mean it's corrupt. It doesn't mean it's unjust. It doesn't mean it's dishonest. It's weird. It's unique. So what do you make of it? And why hasn't it been named a number one contenders match? Is Charles not got the same guarantee? I mean, Beneil's got a guarantee not only if he wins, he goes and fights for the belt. He's got a guarantee if the fight doesn't take place, he gets to go and fight for the belt. Does Charles not have that? Because he doesn't have it publicly, that's for sure. You guys have said it. You writers have written about it. But you're wrong. He has not been granted that by anybody in a position of authority. Is that just an oversight? Very possibly. As a matter of fact, most likely. Most likely, when somebody on the second floor of the Ultimate Fighting Championship sees this piece, they're going, oh, we didn't say that. We meant to say it. I thought we said it. That hasn't been said. Yes, this is a number one contenders match. Most likely, something along those lines is going to happen. But I'm just asking you, because there's been plenty of time. There's been a lot of hook and a lot of crook here. Beneil Dariush, who doesn't say boo if he's got a mouthful of it, has come out and told us that if Oliveira doesn't show up, he will go and fight for the belt. The guy that it's most difficult to get information from has given us information. But we've never been told that the same goes for Charles. And motivation's the son of a bitch in this sport. You could only begin to guess. You're not going to convince me that Charles Oliveira is motivated to get back in there with Islam Makhachev. There was nothing about their fight that said rematch. Nothing. It was not competitive. It was not controversial. It was not back and forth. There wasn't certain position, right? Like some guy, oh, he's giving you big problems on the feet. Now, as soon as you get him down, he's done. But if he can keep it up here and the fight's going to start here and every 5 minutes the referee's going to put him here, I mean, you can sell yourself on a lot of things. None of them happened in that fight. There was no the jab was better or the cross was better or the uppercut or the condition or the strength or the control or the ground. There was nothing in that fight that says let's do a rematch. Nothing. There was no controversy. There was no competitiveness. But I bring it to you because we were told, right? I'm like an accountant, guys. I'm only as good as the information I'm given. And I got to say that because I always have to hear from somebody when I make a piece. I don't come to you with my opinions very often. I'm a master of hearing everything that's going on, and I got a foolproof memory. So I'm telling you things that happen. I'm just presenting them back to you, but it's very relevant because Charles Oliveira's head coach said that he was offered the rematch in Perth, that it was supposed to be him, not Volkanovski, regardless of the face-off at the end of the night, where Islam and Volk faced off and they made the fight right there with Daniel. Regardless of that, the UFC was going to pull that and put Oliveira back in according to Oliveira's coach. But they turned it down, which is why the UFC went in the direction of Volkanovski. Believe that or don't, I'm sharing with you what was said. But right there, if that's true, we now know the motivation of Charles is to not get back in there with Islam. So it's a very precarious spot. If you're going to get the jump on Benny, you're going to have to be in a level of conditioning that Charles Oliveira has never been in. He doesn't have to get better with his boxing. He doesn't have to get his grappling better. If Charles is going to deal with Benny, and this is to make it close, right? Just to have a close, competitive, and stay there for 3 rounds. His condition is going to have to be at a level that it simply has never been. Fine, fair enough. But to do that, you have to want it. To get your conditioning somewhere, you're now talking about hard work and you're talking about extra work. You're talking about discipline that less than 1/10 of the population alive has. So you're going to have to want it. And I am not convinced at all that Charles wants to get back in there with Islam. He's never done an interview saying that. He's never said what was the problem with his camp. And a guy can get a fight just by telling a lie. A guy can come out and say, I was fill in the blank. I've had guys, my rib hurt, right? I've had guys, my shoulder was dislocated. I had guys, I was dealing with mononucleosis. I was sick as a dog. I was throwing up in the bag. Just ask my coach. Okay, great. I will ask your coach and I'll write about it and the word will get around and we can come and do a rematch. None of those things were said. The only thing we heard from Charles' team is we were offered a rematch and we said no. So now we're being asked to believe that Charles is going to be able to dig deeper and produce a conditioning level higher than anything he's brought to the table before, or he's just accepting defeat before he goes in there. Could quite possibly be true. But his great reward, if he's to succeed and beat Benny, is to go into a fight that he was already offered and told, I don't want. This is just reality that I'm telling you. There's no spin. And I realize I never give Charles a fair shake. I get that. I get it. And I don't know why that is. Everything I hear, he's a wonderful guy. I get that I'm hard on him over here. But what I'm saying is still true. And to pull out of a fight just to do the fight again, admitting that it was a minor injury, signing up to do it 4 weeks later, this is unusual. So I'm going to stand by my initial question, and I'm going to ask you a second time. Do you think the fight is going to happen?